Welcome to the Valt podcast. We are your car culture cultivators. I'm Sean.
I'm Joe. And we have
Vijay. Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, gentlemen? Good to see everybody. Great show today. Joe, what do we have on deck?
Yeah, so first of all, if you're watching this, I'm sure you're a fan of the Grand Tour in Top Gear. Top Gear, Jeremy Clarkson, James May, Richard Hammond, the iconic trio, had a great, probably 20 seasons or 25 seasons worth of iconic automotive driving, film and cinematography. Yeah. I grew up with it. A whole bunch of people in my generation grew up with it. Then one year, Jeremy punched one of the producers in the face, and he got fired.
Is that what really happened?
Yeah, that's what I heard happened. Okay. They got in an altercation. He got fired. The other two dropped, and new people filled their space, and Top Gear was never the same again.
Yeah,
and
it was that guy from Friends, right?
Yeah, Matt LeBlanc and others.
LeBlanc, yeah.
And that completely faded away into obscurity. Top Gear is nothing now but a real machine.
BBC tried replacing them with different hosts 3 different times or 4 different times.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just never worked. Never worked. And so the original trio, went to Amazon Prime, probably were offered a shit ton of money to produce the Grand Tour, which is literally a Top Gear, but slightly different, but very minutely different.
I have never heard of this show.
Okay.
So wait, the guys from Top Gear, they produced it, or are they actually
Amazon Prime
acting? Are they the host again?
They're the hosts again.
Okay.
It's a little bit different. Top Gear is more of a talk show with segments.
Gotcha.
The Grand Tour is more of like a Grand Tour. So it's have you remember the Top Gear specials where they would go to Botswana?
Yeah.
So this is just that. It's 5 episodes per season or whatever, and they do that. And so they did they did 3 or 4 seasons of it. They're getting old.
Yeah.
This last season was their last season, their finale. And so that was it. They went out with it was a great episode. They went out with a bang. And then a couple days ago, I see a post on a meme Instagram account saying that Amazon Prime Video is reviving the Grand Tour with the guys from Throttle House, which are we know them, we're friends with them.
Cool. Nice
and
guys.
The guy, I don't know who this is,
Good
but
show.
a guy who's really into trains or something. It's a train,
He's an obsessed hobbyist who loves trains.
like hopping on trains, or collecting trains, running trains. Heyo. Uh-huh. Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah, so basically, I don't know what it is with these big producers, but they just don't understand that the trio is the trio, and you can't change this. And I know they see the numbers, and they're the numbers are great, but the numbers are produced by the guys. They're not produced by the event, the show.
Yeah.
So the Throttle House with the train guy it's gonna fall. I mean, who knows? It might be great, but it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I find watching things on Amazon really, really hard. I mean, when you look at all the other streaming platforms, you look at Amazon's offerings, dude, some of their movies and some of their shows are really quite questionable.
Yeah.
So I do hope, for the sake of the Throttle House guys, because I do enjoy their series on YouTube, and they swang by our house one year in Monterey as well. Yeah, cool guys. I do hope it works.
I'm watching their YouTube. They always have some sort of a fun gag in every episode where they do some sort of a funny skit before the show. Yeah. So I do think they have the caliber to do a show like that at a higher level than YouTube for sure. And on the flip side as well, Top Gear with the new reboot by BBC, they ended up hiring a new guy named Chris Harris, who was pretty much limited to YouTube until then with AutoCAD and all sorts of freelance stuff, right? Chris Harris. And then once he did 4 or 5 seasons with Top Gear, he ended up becoming a household name, and he started his auction house called Collecting Cars, and it's it really made his career kind of blossom, and he almost became a household name throughout the world as an automotive journalist. So for him, it was one of the best things that happened to him, to get that opportunity, to get his name out there. So I think the Throttle House guys will benefit a huge deal from probably being part of this more than the show itself.
Yeah, the show will flop, but the people will Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They'll call it Throttle House, literally. And yeah, that stuff. So that's fun. So yeah, that's that.
Amazon is a place where I expect to find like counting cars, or remember that show, Counting Cars? It wasn't a very good show.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I had an Amazon I watched the Grand Tour. I really enjoyed it. It was never the same as Top Gear, but I did like it.
Yeah.
And I'll watch this to see if it's good, but I doubt I have a feeling it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
But comment down below what you guys think. I mean, I think everyone has the same opinion as me, so I mean, it's just going to
I expect like a Pimp My Ride revival. Just
you never know. I mean, like,
just bad shows on Amazon.
It may, maybe it changes. Who knows? But so that's that. Comment down below what you guys think. So a Leno law update. So basically, yesterday the California State Senate passed Leno's law. Blah blah blah. You know the whole thing. 32 people voted yes. 3 people voted no. There's a couple of timeline dates where we have to get through. So VJ, do you want to walk us through them?
Sure. So yeah, Leno's law is a new bill that's been introduced in the California State Senate to kind of help with making the emissions test situation easier for cars that are 35 years or more older. Because right now it goes all the way back to 1976, which is pretty crazy. Like, it's so hard to get anything passed through emissions, in the last, from 70s to 90s or whatever. So now this law, in the next stage, it has to go through 3 more phases to the policy committee in July 18th, and the appropriations committee on August 29th, and what's called the full assembly before it finally goes to the governor's desk. So, I mean, obviously we shouldn't be doing any premature celebration. So many of these bills, I just don't want to say anything about it, but I'm just saying don't celebrate prematurely. It has a long way to go before it reaches the governor's desk, I think.
Yeah. There's a lot of obstacles, to get past it. I've heard that you also need to have a California historic vehicle license plate, which is actually pretty easy to do. I'm going to be doing it this weekend for the M5. Just like it's got a $25 application fee. If your car is, what was that?
You said historic plate?
Yeah. So I've heard I've heard around the grapevine that in order to get the Leno law credentials on your car, you need collector car insurance and you need a California historic plate, which collector car insurance is easy and it's cheap, and a historical plate seems daunting, but apparently it's quite easy to do. So get ahead of that now if you're interested in doing that and you think that your car would have no issues getting into that. But so that's cool. Hopefully we get through these things without any issues. And
I've always wondered what the criteria was for getting a historical plate.
I think it's $25 revenue to the state and like a sentence about I don't think there's any actual criteria.
Oh, okay.
Like I think it's like,
what if you have a historic plate and keep going through the toll bridge like 3 times a month, 5 times a month?
Well, all these entities always say that they're watching you with the mileage and everything, but I really don't think anyone cares. As long as that check is cashing every month and you're not having to use insurance or use like certain things, like I really don't think that they care.
Yeah.
So like, I think this is all like, this is not advice. So like, don't sue me if you do mess something up. But I think getting a California plate to get your car to not be able to smog would be awesome. So I'm going to be doing that for sure. So yeah, that's the news. We'll keep you updated on that. And then finally, Sean, we were talking about this in the beginning of the podcast, but the new M2 CS was unveiled. And Sean was very excited to see that it was 300 pounds heavier than his M2, had no manual option, and only 70 more horsepower. So, Sean, how do you think about that? What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I was obviously I'm a big fan of the M2 platform. I have a 2020 M2 CS, which I was actually out driving yesterday. And anyway, BMW debuted the 2026 model year M2 CS. And I was like, okay, upgrades are always good. And yes, it's actually about, I think it has like 80 more horsepower. I believe the 2020 M2 is like 444 horsepower. This one is like 523. So that's quite an upgrade that they're getting out of the engine. But again, 300 pounds heavier, and it's only rear wheel drive, and it's no manual option. So I mean, an M2 with no manual.
Yeah, that hurts it. That hurts it a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
because
crazy.
70 horsepower, cool. 300 pounds heavier. You're negating that.
Yeah.
And the no manual thing. I mean, the reason why your car is so special is because it's like that last like study of like BMW excellence with the manual and it's inline six and the perfect weight distribution. So this is just it's just going the way of the M5. It's just gonna get bigger and more techy, and just so your car is a collectible now.
Yeah,
So
a 523 rear wheel drive BMW sounds crazy though. That sounds crazy.
Yeah,
it sounds
like a lot of
fun.
power.
It sounds fun for a while, except when it starts raining. Or
Yeah.
Videos, people leaving cars and coffee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, jumping over dividers.
Those
and
might
stuff.
be the new Mustang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
X drive competition, M3 competition. People are spinning and crashing those.
People just
Yeah.
can't. I mean, they see X and they think they're unstoppable. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, people, will be at high speed on a freeway, right? And then punch it. And then, you would assume the tires are warm. You would assume, everything is okay. And they're just punching it and just losing control.
People just don't. Some people just can't drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. That's what happens. That's happening. But that's the news. Usually we don't really talk about the news, but there's a couple things that actually made sense to talk about this week. So that's the news. And without further ado, Sean, how's your week been?
Week has been good. Took out the actually today I went out to San Jose to go pick up some Datsun parts, and met a cool guy out there who just had just a ton of just Datsun stuff and old Nissan stuff everywhere, and it made me think at what point in my life would I ever collect like 3 garages or 3 storage bins or whatever the case. I just like car stuff. Like I never want to be that guy. So I like stuff that runs. I like stuff that I can just get in and go. I'm so grateful for those type of guys that do that for us, for all those car guys that like hoarding parts, keeping parts and all that stuff. But grabbed the armrest for the Z. Just want to tidy up on some of the details now that I've been driving it, and that was pretty much my week. Kind of quiet.
Nice.
How about yours?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this before we started recording, but I've just been working like crazy. I'm like experiencing heavy burnout right now. Like I just like need I need like a day or two just to do nothing. So hopefully we'll be able to get that this weekend. We mentioned before, past like 3 or 4 weeks, there's been like a huge thing every weekend.
Yeah.
Like, so those are finally over now. All the family things are over. This weekend, there's nothing going on. So I'll be able to just kind of catch up on some computer stuff and just chill. So, that's it.
One thing about our community is I love being a part of the community, the car community, is because it's fun, right? And whenever we lose that fun with burnout, then we say, hey, you know what, maybe it's okay to take a day off or to take a week off, from it. And for you, is you do it, it's every single day.
Yeah.
For a lot of us, it's, it's the weekends.
Yeah.
So it's take some time off, take care of yourself.
Yeah, because I love to grind. I like to wake up and work forever, and it's cool. But like, man, I've been doing it like probably for like 90 or 100 days straight now. So like I'm this will be good. This will be a good thing. But in terms of project updates, there's not really nothing to report. I mean, like I've been driving the X3 to work and stuff, and that's whatever.
X3s,
X3 it's 6-speed.
Civics. What was that Mercedes? The sucker model, the GLC.
I mean, that's not mine, but
Is it a manual?
yeah. So Wesley, I traded Wesley his 2005 X3 6-speed for some detailing work. And so I've been going through that car kind of very slowly and just kind of driving around. I put about 600 miles on it so far. It's fun. I mean, it's not entertaining to drive, but like it's a 6-speed, so that's kind of like interesting. And I don't know how long I'm gonna keep it. Honestly.
6-speed manual.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty dope. It's the first generation. The next
first generation.
Yeah.
So it's an E46.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
That's
an
cool.
E46 that's been lifted with a SUV body.
Okay.
It's cool. It's quirky. It feels very European. Like it feels like it shouldn't have been around here. There's not many creature comforts, but it's a cool car. I mean, like I don't know. I mean, like I have some plans for it. I want to make it like mechanically perfect, cosmetically as nice as I can get it. But there are some parts of the car that I just don't want to deal with fixing. Like the headliner is like dirty and sagging, and I'm not dealing with that on like a panoramic sunroof car. So that's not getting fixed. Like there's a couple things that like I'm not going to deal with, but like I'll probably I have a budget of like $4,000 total for the car. So after I hit $4,000, I'm not doing it. I'm into it for $1,000 right now. So if I $3,000 more of maintenance and I'm just going to drive it, I'm going to get it to 200,000 miles, which is at 192 now.
Okay.
And at 200,000 miles, I'll reassess and see if I want to keep it or just move it on. So, so we'll see. It's interesting, but that's really it. I have a huge laundry list of things to do on the M5 and wagon, but that'll be mid-June. So probably 2 weeks from now that we'll talk about that stuff.
There you go.
VJ, how's your week been?
My week's been a little bit slow, mostly doing work stuff. This week I picked up a puncture on the Cayman, ran over some sort of nails, and luckily I saw it before it had kind of caused the damage. So I saw a couple of thumbtacks of things sticking around the sidewall of the car, so it couldn't be repaired, and I just parked the car day before yesterday, and this morning I woke up and saw the tire was completely flat. Luckily, tire rack, I have that tire rack protection thing, so they sent me a tire for free, which got here today. So, so they're gonna tow my car for free. They'll replace the tire for free, pay for the replacement. Everything's free. So,
well, they'll tow your car to a shop for free. Because
the tire rack protection is like the best thing ever. So, I've used it before as well for a failure on a Bridgestone, I think, tire. So they gave the tire for free and paid for the towing and the installation costs. So it's pretty cool.
So what VJ failed to tell us he was actually in a high-speed chase, and where his tires had to be force punctured.
Yeah, the roads are like so broken and there's so much trash on the shoulders. I must have picked up something from there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, otherwise I'm kind of getting engaged more with some of the car culture groups here. So I joined the Indie Porsche Club, which they have an event this Sunday in an airfield where we'll get to park our cars next to some jets and take photos and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that.
You're totally not coming back.
I still think the Bay Area is better.
I'm actually going to start applying for jobs and all this stuff.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, hopefully you come back soon. But yeah, those are our weeks. Hope your week's been good. And that brings us straight into member Discord vines, which, if you aren't familiar, we have a Patreon. If you'd like to support us, link down in the description below. When you're a patron, you get access to the member Discord, which is also in the description. Click on that link and you can sign up. It's free for members and it's a lot of fun. We post member finds like this. We do drive sim nights, dinners, you name it, car week stuff. That's coming up soon. So
Hangouts.
Yeah.
All that
We'd
good
love to
stuff.
have you guys. It's a lot of fun. And also, if you're a member and don't go to any of the events, please, for the love of God, I'd love for you to come to these events because I want to meet you. Some of you guys, I don't even know who you are yet. So please, it'll be a lot of fun. So for the first find, we have this Cadillac Alante.
Oh my God! Somebody speaking Joe's language.
Yeah, I think
this is
my
your
dad-
love language,
actually,
right
my dad
here.
posted this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know why I like this car, but I do. And the best part about this one was the description. So keep in mind, it's a 1990 Cadillac Alante, $2,800. We'll go through the photos. It's whatever. It's a Cadillac Alante. It's designed by the Italians.
So as long as I've known Joe, for some reason he
Yeah,
has
Pininfarina,
a
baby.
sick fascination with Cadillac Elantes.
And I should probably get it on my system. I know these
These are terrible.
Is it true that they made the frame in the US and then shipped it to Italy to do the bodywork and then shipped it back?
Yeah,
It was probably, I think it was the most, I think like in period, it was the most expensive production line ever for anything. Like total waste, huge waste of money. Like probably lost so much money on this car, which is why I like the story. Like this car shouldn't exist, and I think it's fun. But the description is what really, really sold this to me. So blah blah blah, blah blah blah. V8 4-speed Italian body, and then right here it says has little to no brakes. Broke a brake line, was repaired but still has no brakes. So somehow the brakes were repaired, but they're not working yet.
Like it has a television on the dash.
Yeah. So he's hesitant to invest more time into fixing the brakes, so he's selling the car without brakes. So this car drives, but it doesn't stop, which I think is hilarious. So that's that one.
I like the fact that it was previously owned by a elderly couple for 10 years. Mind you, it's a 1990 car. What the hell difference does that make?
No, yeah, utter bullshit. I mean, this guy,
He's selling it, man.
this guy bought it and was like, I could flip this thing, and then realized he didn't know how to fix the brakes, and was
totally.
like, well, now I'm screwed. So that's the first one. Eventually I'll own one, but like that's not the one.
Yeah.
So number
Don't bail
two.
this guy out.
Number two, Wesley found. So this is a 1965 Volkswagen that has been turned into like an autocross buggy.
Sweet.
So I think this is like a fun way to spend $12,000. To be honest, like I think this is like probably a highly
It
competitive.
looks like a
thing.
Myers-Manx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. Like I think it's a good idea. Like a tiny body. This engine, although small, looks like it's pretty aggressive.
These were popular like back in the day where people would do these.
Yeah.
They're
But for 12 grand, this guy has definitely invested more than 12 grand into this build.
totally.
And I bet it's competitive. And so if you're looking for specifically, I wouldn't take this anywhere else other than a track or an autocross. Actually, probably not a track. Probably just an autocross. But yeah, that's it, short and sweet. But like, I just think it's an interesting way to spend 12 grand for an autocross toy.
Well, it looks like it's licensed for the street too, so that's cool.
Yes, yeah, so you could drive it to your autocross.
Yeah.
Which you would hate that, but
Yeah.
All right. Number three, going through these fast. So Spencer found this. So this Bentley specifically, click on it, let me get more pictures. This Bentley specifically has been listed at this dealership for years. I
my
remember back when Robert would be on the podcast, we put this up. And it's been relisted the same price, 18 grand, which seems like a really good price, but
But you know,
something terribly
hell to
wrong.
pay.
It's a W12.
yeah.
And here's the thing. When something like this, you can sell on Cars and Bids like that.
Yeah.
So my thing is, if you haven't tried Cars and Bids yet with this thing, then something is horribly wrong with it. That is reputation ending, So I like this car. I think it'd be hilarious to own for 18 grand. But man, there's something hidden here that is truly terrifying.
Yeah.
I think you need it, Joe, after the Turbo R has gone.
Yeah, Turbo R is a better choice than this. But yeah,
Eh,
that's the next one. The last,
it's a cheap way to a W12, but it's
a cheap way to drop to 12, but it's a really
it's an expensive
Yeah.
journey.
You spend 18 grand on this car, and you're like you have like a $30,000 bill probably.
Yeah.
With all the things that are wrong with it. All right, so the last one is this Suzuki Carry truck. So the reason why I really wouldn't post just random K trucks like this, because they're honestly at this point they're a dime a dozen.
Oh yeah.
But this one is California registered with a plate, and it's only $3 grand. So that. Look, I mean, this is
Oh, that thing's driven.
shot, but they're all shot.
Yeah.
So
That thing's driven.
yeah. But for $3 grand, California plated.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say a term that my wife likes to use, but that doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense with this. It's really cute.
Yeah.
I think it's worth getting that wind plate win plate just for the California plate.
Yeah, it's worth the money for that specifically. Yeah, I've been getting so many memes of these cars saying like, don't be so successful that you're like filthy rich, but be just successful enough to where all your friends can buy K trucks and drive around together.
There you go.
And so you'd be living the dream in this, except for you might get hepatitis in this interior. But yeah, those are the fines.
You know, the funny thing is, those, you know, driving that around here or bringing it to car shows is, you know, dude, that thing's gonna win a car show.
Oh yeah, K trucks always win.
They always win.
They always win.
For 3,000, you can't miss. It's a big, good for somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are the marketplace finds. Once again, the link is down in the description below to join the Patreon and the Discord. This was short and sweet today. Last week, I think we spent 45 minutes or something on just alone on the marketplace finds.
Oh,
but
man.
it's because there was Julian and my dad here was all BMWs, so we had a lot of BMW talk. So yeah, that brings us into today's main topic, which really isn't a topic. It's more of a scenario because I wanted to switch it up because Own Drive Delete has been so much fun.
Yeah.
So the scenario, imagine that you're the president of the United States and you wanted to pick a fight with a CEO of an auto manufacturer to get them to do whatever you wanted or just be deleted or whatever you want, basically. So the question is, you're the president, you're picking on the CEO of an auto manufacturer. What manufacturer is it, and what would you make them do?
It seems like I've heard this like in the recent past. I don't know.
No, we don't follow politics here.
So what's funny is I was thinking about this today, and easy one for me, it would be and they've already been in trouble, but it would be Nissan. And for the simple fact that what did you guys do, or what they've done, I should say, with like Altimas, Infinity, the G35s, what's the other one? Just all those trap cars, bro.
Like, yeah.
I've seen, dude, I saw just guys like today on the freeway, on the street, just no regard for anybody else. And I'm like, you know it's stolen. Just the way they're driving.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going past double yellows, just no regard for anything on the road. And I'm like, yeah, those should be taken off. So I would pick a fight with them saying, hey, you know what? You guys need to recall every last one of these fucking cars, get them off the road and get, because they're annoying. And what's worse is when they freaking take the mufflers off of them.
Oh, yeah. And that CVT hums.
Yeah, it does not sound good.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
A G35 with no muffler does not sound good. It just doesn't.
It doesn't. It's not even a hot take. That's just fact.
I'm saying exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going after Nissan.
You know what I haven't seen? Speaking of Infinity, like Nissan Infinity, when they were brand new, what is the SUV called?
Pathfinder?
No, the Infinity one with the VQ.
Oh, I think like Q50, Q70.
I don't know,
like
but
that.
there's that one that had the exhaust when it was brand new that sounded crazy.
Okay.
When those were brand new, they were all over my neighborhood. Now I don't see them anywhere.
Yeah.
At all, anywhere. Like
all
literally,
that stuff is crap.
They're gone. Yeah, they're gone. Which is where I was like, as you were talking about that, I'm like, I mean, no, they used to be really popular. I haven't seen them at all ever.
Yeah.
Like the past years and years, I've never seen. So that's interesting.
Yeah. As a Z car guy, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I mean, no one's buying 400Zs either. So
yeah.
VJ, what would you choose?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the chance to do more Jeep Slander. It's pretty tempting to do, so I would just get the government to spend the money and buy a Jeep and then delete the company so that they don't make any more Jeeps.
Nice. Yeah.
Just this. I recently drove a Jeep Gladiator and just disliked everything about it as a road car, because I see so many people just driving them as their regular daily drivers, and I just couldn't fathom how they could do it, because it's like, if you've never ever been in a car, this would be amazing as a product. But if you ever driven a normal car, this would be so, because it just felt so cheap. Everything you touched, not rugged. The ride was not settled. It just kept bouncing and just making me dizzy. On any slightly bumpy roads, it just did not like to turn. It did not it was so long, it was hard to park, and I'm pretty sure it's bad off road as well because of the length of the car and the overhangs and everything. And then the infotainment is not usable because of the wind noise. It's so boxy. All you hear is wind above 60, and you just can't hear anything from the radio. And it just
The radio is terrible also.
yeah, like people are not even doing off-roading with it, they're just living with it every day. And I was driving like relatively aggressively, and you were getting like 15 mpg with while suffering all of that. Like, what is this thing for? And it yeah,
It's purely aesthetic. Yeah, I mean, at this point, a Jeep Wrangler is specifically like a fashion piece for like a girl that wants to just like feel adventurous. I think. I don't know. I mean, am I at the high school that I went to? Like, that's like everyone wanted a Jeep, but they wanted it because they thought it looked cool.
Yeah, one of my good friends, his girlfriend was in the market for one, and I did my best to talk her out of it. Even met her at the dealership, and even the dealer was trying to talk her out of it. But I was like, why would you overpay for one of these? These things are freaking
Crap. And sure enough,
such crap. Like their body, have you seen their body panels? They ripple on the side. They're worse than Cybertruck body panels.
Yeah, like right where like things are screwed in, like there's like a whole crease right there. Yeah, I'm very familiar. I detail a lot of them.
yeah.
You close the door, and you sometimes you don't even know if the door closes because of like how cheap the feeling of the door closing is. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take.
But they can take the doors off.
Yeah. So you remove the body panels from your car, and it starts to get a little better. Yeah, Jeep value. But I'm gonna go with Stellantis also. I think if I was the president, I would go to the Dodge manufacturers, and I would require all Dodge prospective buyers to have a social credit score, and if they didn't pass a certain threshold, then they would not be allowed to buy a Dodge truck, because something about Dodge truck owners just sucks. Like I hate to be that guy, but like the pickup trucks, every time I'm around one, the entire environment goes down a couple notches.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if they think they're in like a luxury, like, because I don't know. In my opinion, like if I'm thinking about pickup trucks, I'd probably consider Dodge to be slightly more upscale than Chevy, maybe, and Ford.
Yeah.
Not like GMC, but like the leather might be a little nicer. So I think they might think that they're in like like in an asset or something of like nice value. And they just like demand their presence on the road way worse than Ford and Chevy, in my opinion. And like I can't handle them.
Their front ends are so out of proportion, and then they put all that freaking chrome on it.
Yeah,
with a ram.
yeah, it's the big horn shit. I just like. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You need to pass some sort of etiquette exam, or you don't get the car.
Yeah.
Because like
how are they all spending 110 grand?
because they're fully indebted. That's what I'm saying. If you had a social credit score only for Dodge owners, like it would be first that wouldn't work. But like at least you would get people who wanted Dodges. At least they would be like educated enough not to be dumbasses, you know. And so most of them are. So
sorry for all our Dodge friends.
I don't know. I mean, every time I detail a Dodge truck, every time I work with anyone that has, it's like they all have way overboard expectations on their stuff. Like that, no one wants to pay for anything because they're in debt.
Yeah.
They're all of them are annoying and assholey, and like I've had 2 negative reviews since 2017. Not like on Google, never like, but like personally on to text. Both of them were Dodge truck owners. And I kid you not, there's something about it. Dude. So social credit score, that's what I'm doing.
We're on our old man gripe tonight.
Yeah. So not for you guys who don't want Dodge trucks. Social credit score just for Dodge trucks prospective owners. Once you walk into the building, you give them your social security number. They figure out where you went to college, your credit score, make sure that you're not stupid, and then they let you buy the car. They let you go into it after that. So comment down below if you were the president, what you'd be doing. And you can't pick Tesla. You can't pick Tesla because that's a cop-out.
Jeez, it sounds like Elon has it easy, man. He's lucky we're not president.
Yeah, I would fight everybody.
I think we'd be prioritizing.
I'd fight everybody.
Right.
So that brings us into own, drive, delete. So this has been so much fun that we're just going to keep it rolling until we run out of ideas for cars. So once again, if you're not familiar, own, drive, delete is just like marry, fuck, kill. Owning a car is you're taking this car and you're keeping it forever, and this is your car, your identity in the car world. Driving it is taking the keys for the day, driving it like as you know, however you want, giving the keys back, never taking them again. And deleting them is removing it from the automotive culture, not just for you, but for everyone else involved. So the cars this week are a 240Z, a Datsun, a BMW 2002 Tii. TII is important. It's the injected one, so it's a little bit more entertaining. And a GTV 1750 or a GTV 2000. None of the other ones, because I think the other ones probably offer a little bit more fizz.
Nice.
So why don't you talk about it? Who wants to go first with this?
Well, I like this category and I like this selection of cars because they're all special in their own way, and they'd be all fun to kind of toss around. So the driving part is what I find hard. You know, which one I would love to drive the most. Oh man, so I would probably say delete for me. Only this might offend some people, but it's only because I have a 280Z. So the delete for me would be the 240Z.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get like 50% of the people.
Oh, they're gonna hate me, right?
Yeah,
I would probably delete that
They're
one.
gonna hate you, yeah.
Only because, like I said, only because I have a Z already. So the drive would probably be the TII, and then the drive would be the GTV for me because I've never driven one before. So I certainly enjoy it.
Yep.
Enjoy the drive of it. I've heard a lot about them. They seem to be a cool car. And then certainly the own is I like TIIs. TIIs TIIs are dope cars. So I definitely go for the TII.
Yeah.
Yeah, the BMW guy.
Yeah, VJ, what do you think?
I've driven both the 1750 and the 2000, and I kind of fell in love with those, and I've been like kind of plotting to find one of those in the next couple of years because I really want to live that sweet life in one of those cars. So my next car could be like a 1750 if I can find something in my price range, because they're getting more and more expensive. But for sure, I know that I want to own that as my car in the future, for sure. Even if I don't drive it, it's just so amazing to look at that car because it's the perfect design by Tony, and like it's just perfect in every way. Like everyone loves it when you're driving along. Everyone's thumbs up. No one's gonna cut you off or hate you for driving it, and it makes all the right sounds and smells and everything. So it's worth the hype for sure for me to own. I mean, I don't particularly dislike the other two, the 240Z and 2002. I think they're both absolute classics, and I just have to, for the sake of choosing, I'll just, I guess, delete the 2002 and choose the 240Z because I think that's the best era of Nissan Datsun for sure. And they used to have these amazing inline sixes, which could be mistaken for Ferraris when they're like properly, tuned and have a nice exhaust or build. So I'd probably drive the Z, delete the BMW, and own the GTV.
Yeah, for me, this is going to be surprising, I think, but I've been thinking about this for the whole podcast. I'm definitely owning the GTV. I think it has the best. If you think about just the ownership experience, it has the Italian car experience, which is exotic and fun. I think when you're driving around town, it also has the best windows down vibe. The 4-cylinder sounds raspy. Everyone thinks you're cute and fun. You're not in a Ferrari, so you're not pretentious, but you're in an Italian car, so you have culture.
Yeah.
And I think the driving experience is also very good. So I think you get everything with the car.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna drive the 240 for the same reason that VJ is driving the 240. I think the inline six on those things is awesome.
Yeah.
And I think the experience of driving the car itself could be even better than a GTV, but I think owning it is not as interesting. Just for the same unfortunately, for the same reasons. for the same reasons that I never pick the JDM stuff.
Yeah.
Like I just think the Japanese cars have just a very slightly like, I don't know if I want to keep this long term, but I'd like to experience it kind of vibe.
Sure.
And then the 2002 Tii, I've driven them, and you need to do so much to make these things enjoyable compared to the other two. The only thing that it has going for it, in my opinion, is it has floor mounted pedals.
Yeah.
And so they feel like it feels like 911, you know.
Yeah.
But like the interior is kind of shitty. The fuel injections, whatever, the M10 is nothing special. And I just don't think, like, I mean, I understand this is kind of like brought in like the 3 Series, so historically it's like very important.
Yeah.
And if I were to delete it, it removes that idea. But I do think that the 3 Series would happen anyway. And it took them a couple generations to figure the 3 Series out anyway.
Yeah.
So I think if the 2002 Ti never existed, I think they'd figure it out.
At one of the recent couple of months ago Valt car shows at Solano, I was standing next to a 1750 GTV, and it had a nice, I think, a pistachio sort of a color, and I was wearing my Alfa Romeo jacket, standing next to it talking to someone, and then a woman came up to me and asked me if the Alfa belongs to me because I was wearing the jacket and everything. Then she said, "Is that your car? It's making me really hot and bothered."
Oh,
You should have just said yes, Miki. That's the pro tip. Just say yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, when I think 2002 Tii, I'm actually thinking like in my head, I'm like an Alpina version of it.
Yeah, you think it's either set up or if you're gonna go vintage, just go full vintage.
It's going all out.
Just get like a 1600. You know.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get a 2002, you're building it to compete with the GTV.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard to do that. So you're gonna go rework the suspension, hop the engine up, change the injection, go carbureted, do all this stuff, different seats, different shifter, all this stuff, all the sounds, and then you have a good car.
Yeah.
Or you go full vintage experience and get a 1602 or something that has like this, steel wheels and that's a vibe, but like it's still not like the car isn't that special. Like it's an iconic car. And it's iconic because the 3 Series is legendary. So like if this was an E21, even though E21s still aren't that great, I would have a harder time deleting it because without the E21 there wouldn't have been an E30, and an E30 is undeniably probably iconic, compact sedan kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
and I will say probably with the 240 or with the Z, I've never had a car that's given like. People have had so much emotion or had so much of a story, and they're so passionate about like with Z cars. It's so it's hard for me to leave it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I like how we're all very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So comment down below what you think. I'm sure we're gonna get some hate regardless because these all have cult followings.
It's hard, man.
I'm sure you guys thought I was gonna own the 2002, but I've driven them. I'm not for me. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've driven the others. It's just not for me. So comment down below what you guys think. Anything else before we close out?
Support the Slander.
Yeah. Call your state rep if you've made it this far. Tell them we said hi to, so they get confused.
And like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe if you're new. Comment down below. All that stuff. Engagement is key. And we'll see you on another episode next week.
All right.
Take
Thanks,
care.
guys.
See you later.